The next question, Sayyid Abdul Rahman from Manchester, UK, he asks, Assalamu alaikum. Why is eating pork haram? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in no less than 4 different places, in Surah Baqarah chapter number 2 verse number 173, in Surah Ma'idah chapter number 5 verse number 3, in Surah Anam chapter number 6 verse number 145, as well as in Surah Nahl chapter number 16 verse number 115, حُرِّمَتْ عَلَيْكُمُ الْمَيْتَةُ وَالدَّمُ وَلَحْمُ الْخِنْزِيرِ وَمَا أُهِلَّ لِغَيْرِ اللَّهِ بِهِ, and another place, وَمَا أُهِلَّ بِهِ لِغَيْرِ اللَّهِ. Forbidden for you food are dead meat, blood, flesh of swine, and any food on which any other name besides Allah's name has been taken. So these types of food, they are prohibited for us Muslims. So this verse is sufficient for a Muslim to be satisfied that pork, it is prohibited in Islam. Pork is even prohibited in the Bible. It is mentioned in the book of Leviticus chapter number 11 verse number 7 and 8 that the swine, though it divided the hoof, yet chewed not the cud. He is unclean for you. Thou shalt not eat its flesh, nor shalt thou touch their dead carcass. It is unclean for you. A similar message is mentioned in the book of Deuteronomy, chapter number 14, verse number 8, that the swine, though it divided the hoof, yet chewed not the cud. He is unclean for you. Thou shalt not eat its flesh, nor shalt thou touch its dead carcass. He is unclean for you. Pork is even prohibited in the book of Isaiah, chapter number 65, verse number 2 to 5. So the Bible clearly prohibits the flesh of swine, that is pork. The Hindu scriptures, even it prohibits the flesh of swine. It's mentioned in Manusmriti, chapter number 5, verse number 19, that a Brahmin or twice born, he should not eat cock, onion, or the flesh of swine. A Brahmin should not eat cock, onion, and the flesh of swine. Furthermore, it is also mentioned in Vishnu Sutra, chapter number 5, verse number 49, that anyone who sells the forbidden meat, that is the flesh of swine, chop off his opposite hands and limbs. A punishment that is mentioned in the Hindu scriptures. It's not mentioned in Islam. So the Bible as well as the Hindu scriptures, they prohibit having pork. Now let's analyze what are the logical and scientific reasons why Islam prohibits eating pork. There are no less than 70 different types of diseases that you can get if you eat pork. Ringworm, hookworm, roundworm, many types of diseases that you can get. And you can get many helminthes. And one of the most dangerous is the Tinea solium. And in layman's terminology, it is called as tapeworm. And it harbors along the intestine. And it can damage almost every organ of the body. If it enters the brain, it can cause brain damage. If it enters the heart, it can cause heart attack. Another dangerous helminthus, it is the Tichura tichuriasis. And many people, they say that when we cook the pork well, the flesh of swine well, these ova, that is the eggs, they die. But there was a research. Out of 24 people suffering from Tichura tichuriasis, 22 had cooked the food well. So when you cook pork under normal cooking temperature, these eggs, ova, they do not die. There are various diseases that you can get due to the consumption of pork. And pork, it has very little muscle building material. It has a lot of fat. And this fat, it gets deposited in the vessels and it can cause hypertension and heart attack. No wonder more than 50% of the Americans, they suffer from hypertension. Pig, it is the most filthiest and dirtiest animal on the face of the earth. It is the best scavenger. It survives on dirt, muck and filth. Normally, the pig, it is in an area where there's dirt, muck and filth. And many a times in the villages, you do not have the modern day toilets. So people, they excrete in the open air. Later on, the pigs come and the pigs clear the excreta. Many people argue and they say that, in Australia, the pigs, they are kept in sty and they're taken care of so that they do not eat dirt, muck and filth. Do you know when the pig excretes, it many a times feeds on its own excreta? So do you have a person 24 hours manning, wherever the pig excretes, he picks up the excreta? But naturally, no. Pig, it is a very filthy and dirty animal. And pig, it is the most shameless animal on the face of the earth. It invites its friends to have sex with its mate. And in America, many a times after the dance parties, you have the swapping of the wives. You sleep with my wife, I sleep with your wife. You eat pigs and you behave like pigs.